This is a video on what is ADHD and how is it diagnosed. I was at a staff meeting this week and a teacher asked me a very specific question about how ADHD is diagnosed, and so I thought, oh, I better make a video if this is what people want to know. Okay, so I'm going to start with the definition of ADHD, which I will read out of a textbook, so it's legit. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, a neurodevelopmental disorder characterized by excessive motor activity, impulsivity, and or an inability to focus one's attention. Okay, there's three types of ADHD. There's ADHD hyperactive type, there's ADHD combined type, and there's ADHD inattentive type. So hyperactive type is easy to see. If the person has a lot more motor restlessness and is constantly moving around much more than other people their own age, they're hyperactive. It could be caused by ADHD hyperactive type if it's not accounted for by something else. Inattentive type is harder to observe, but you can observe it in conversation with people or longer observations that they often lose track of what they're doing, they can't focus their attention, their conversations seem off topic, or they're often asking you to repeat yourself. So if that's not accounted for by something else, like a memory deficit or something environmental, like being tired, sleep is a big huge issue, then it could be ADHD inattentive type. Some people get diagnosed with combined type, that's inattentive and hyperactive. So the question was, how is ADHD diagnosed? So there's a few ways to diagnose ADHD. They go from the most simple to the most precise and complex. So the most simple way to get a diagnosis is from a medical doctor. They do a clinical interview for ADHD, which means they ask some questions about the symptoms and about your history. They decide if they think there's a diagnosis. They write a statement on a piece of paper, you're diagnosed, or your child is. The second way to be diagnosed is also by a doctor, and this is where they use rating scales. So these rating scales are standardized and norm-based, so your child is compared to other children the same age, usually the same gender if they choose gender norms, and they give a survey to the parents and a survey to the teacher, and it has questions about what's their level of motor restlessness, how well do they pay attention, other things. So there's one available widely online called SNAP, S-N-A-P. You can look at that one to see what the questions are like. There are other ones that aren't necessarily free because they're copyrighted. So doctors use different surveys. It depends on the one they like. Connors is a very popular one. There's one called a CEFI, C-E-F-I.